Mina sold dumplings by the roadside every evening, not because she loved cooking, but because life gave her no choice. At 25, she had lost both her parents. Her small apartment near the railway track had broken windows, leaking pipes, and neighbors who never cared. Each morning, she woke before daylight to prepare dumplings from the cheapest ingredients she could afford, wrapped them carefully, then rolled her wooden cart into the city, where office workers passed her without looking. Some days, she sold everything. Some days, she returned home with cold food and an empty stomach. But she always smiled, because she believed that one day, life would smile back. One rainy evening, just as Mina was closing, a tall man stopped at her cart. He wore no luxury, no flashy watch, no sign of wealth, just simple clothes and tired eyes. "How much?" he asked quietly. She told him. He paid double and refused his change. "Keep it," he said gently. He stood eating while rain tapped softly on umbrellas rushing past. Then he asked, "May I sit here?" And somehow, they began to talk. Not like strangers, like two souls who had been lonely for far too long. His name was Kenji. He told her he was tired of expectations and responsibilities he could no longer explain. Mina told him she was tired of struggle, surviving, and praying into silence. They laughed softly. They shared memories and dreams. And by the time the rain stopped, something warm had begun. Kenji walked her home. They cooked noodles. They talked until midnight. They watched city lights flicker through her cracked window. One evening became one night. One night became something neither of them could understand. When morning came, Kenji was gone. No number, no message, no goodbye. Only silence. Days passed. Weeks passed. Then Mina started feeling weak, nauseous, tired. A visit to a small clinic changed everything. She was pregnant. Her hands trembled. Fear wrapped around her chest. That night, she walked alone in the rain and cried until words were useless. When she returned to her room and touched her stomach, she made her decision. She would keep the child, even if it destroyed her. Pregnancy made life harder. Her back ached, her feet swelled, customers whispered, some insulted, some stared. Work became slower. Hunger became common. But the baby kept growing, and slowly, so did her courage. One stormy night, labor arrived like lightning. No family, no friend, only nurses and pain. When the crying finally stopped, a baby boy lay in her arms. She named him Haru. Spring, because life felt new inside her again. Years passed in struggle. Mina sold food during the day, cleaned buildings at night. She carried Haru on her back or left him with neighbors. Everything she did was for him. Sometimes she wondered if Kenji still existed. Sometimes she hated him. Sometimes she missed him. Mostly, she just focused on breathing. One afternoon, Mina entered a tall glass building to ask for cleaning work. The air inside felt different. Cold. Sharp. Expensive. Security almost pushed her out, but someone pointed her toward the elevators. She waited nervously outside a polished door. When it opened, a tall man stepped out, surrounded by assistants. wearing authority like a crown. Mina's heart stopped. It was Kenji, but not the Kenji she knew. This one owned the building. He led empires with his words. He froze in place when he saw her. Then, his eyes drifted down to the little boy beside her. Something shattered inside him. "Mina?" he whispered. She nodded. Neither of them could breathe. He dismissed his assistants and brought her inside, closed the door, stared at Haru. "Is he?" She nodded again. Tears filled his eyes. "I looked for you," he whispered. "I returned." "So did I," she replied. Silence fell heavy between them. Then Haru smiled at him, and Kenji's heart collapsed. He knelt, touched the boy's cheek. He said, "I never stopped thinking about you. I never stopped missing you." Kenji kept his word. This time, he stayed. He gave Mina a home, gave Haru a father, but she would not let him buy her. She said, "I don't want rescue. I want love." He looked at her and cried. "I loved you from the moment you sold me those dumplings." They built something slowly, not out of wealth, but healing, not out of comfort, but truth. One evening, Kenji knelt again, this time with a ring. He said, "Marry me, not because I am rich, but because you are home." Mina accepted through tears. Their wedding was simple, quiet. No headlines, no cameras, just love. Years passed. Mina grew strong. Kenji grew soft. Haru grew happy. Sometimes Mina still walked past the street where she once sold dumplings, and she smiled, because that night changed her life. Not because she met a billionaire, but because she met kindness, and kindness returned with destiny.